Coming up on this episode with Kathleen McGivern.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Kathleen McGivern and today we're deep diving in on art tips that actually improved my art. Let's get art inspired. Alright, tip number 1 is to practice regularly. Absolutely, practice regularly. It means you need to set up a routine and schedule, like a definitive routine and schedule, not like, oh, this week I'm going to go to my studio. Well, if you don't pick a date, time, any of that, let me tell you, you're not going to go. I promise you right now. I tell myself, I'm going to go 3 times. I'm going to go every evening. You know, you need to be like, no, tomorrow at 7 p.m., I'm going to go to my studio. Then you're going to go. Okay, you need to book that out, blank it out in your Google Calendar, whatever it is, however you map out your life, you need to insert it in there, block out that time, and make it a regular thing. Schedule it on your device, and it's a repetitive event, so you actually go do it. Otherwise, my friend, let me tell you, you will absolutely not go. So make sure you do that because it's very important. If you are actually wanting to improve, you actually need to do the work. There is no thinking yourself to get better. You actually have to go. You need to make those mistakes. You need to experiment. You need to take risks. You need to fail in order to grow and get better. You need to do the work. You need to absolutely do the work. So go practice regularly. That is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to study the fundamentals. If you are an artist, you will have done a lot of this going to art school. If you attend art school, you would have done things like taking the foundations courses, which kind of cover like art history basics and color theory, drawing basics, all that jazz. However, not always do we get those experiences. So if you have not experienced that, or you are looking to grow and maybe that is your end goal eventually, I highly suggest that you spend some time studying the foundations. That is basic drawing skills, that could be anatomy, that could be understanding composition, that could be understanding perspective and really refining and honing in on perspective. Maybe that is really understanding color theory. If you're wanting to paint, you really need to understand color theory. You don't need to buy every pre-made color. You can absolutely say goodbye to that. If you understand color theory, it's also going to help you in all mediums that you work with. Maybe not so much in ceramics because a lot of that is defined somewhat, glazes are more of a chemical reaction. However, if the pairing of colors and the way you use different glazes in an art would be color theory, right? Because colors can really evoke emotions, they can create different psychological messages, they can help create emphasis and contrast, or they can set mood and tone within an artwork. Also, just that is just beyond actually understanding how to mix colors. So it's very important that you deep dive into that. Then there's also the elements of art and the principles of design. These are all things that are like the tools an artist uses in their toolbox in their brain, not just the actual medium. So this is beyond, this is what sets just coloring in pages apart from making art. It's understanding the elements of that create an artwork and put it together. So, and then also embedding your own creative expression on top of that and your own human perspective. And that's what makes an artwork. It's not just a doodle, although sometimes it is. However, an artwork is the design with all the foundations on top of it, right? The understanding of the elements and principles, understanding of core, and then also how to break it intentionally, right? Or use it to your creative advantage, and then adding that your human element into that is what creates art. And in so many different ways, right? It's going to look very different from medium to medium and from artist to artist. And that's what is so cool about art. All right, number 3 is to experiment with different art mediums to help you discover new ways of expressing yourself. I used to be super rigid about only working with clay. I am a ceramicist. I am a ceramic purist. I will only glaze my ceramics. And I realized I was silly. And then I started experimenting with painting my sculptures with acrylic and different mediums. And then I realized, I'm like, hey, why don't I try getting back into painting and drawing? And so I did. Then I started off with watercolors because that's a nice entry safe medium. Going back into painting, and then into acrylics, and now I've kind of hopped into starting oil painting. So really, I'm trying to break all the things all the walls that I had built up. I think that's also a thing. Like nowadays, everybody's like, growth mindset this, growth mindset that, right? We're like very good about talking and experimenting with things, whereas I think back in the day, I went to Emily Carr University back in 2007. It's been a long time ago, and 2007 was a very different time and place. And so compared to 2020s, right? We're almost 20 years later. Is that true? I hope not. Ooh, ew, 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 ew. Ew, I'm getting older. I hope not. Sounds like it's true. I'm just not gonna think about it. Anyway, makes me want to make you sick. Time flies. All right, so wow. I guess what I'm trying to say is just to break out of your preconceptions of what you are as an artist and just smash it, throw it on the ground. I just really want to destroy something right now. So for everything in here is precious. Pretend I'm destroying something. Oh, I really want to just rip something up. I'm gonna rip up. Throw it out. Oh, it feels so much better. And get rid of it and just try something new. Like, I feel like I can't paint, or I can't draw, or I can't whatever it is, I can't do curly. Just try it. See what happens. I guarantee you're gonna learn so much more about yourself. You're gonna grow as an artist, and it's also going to inform your other art practice. So if you're, for instance, I was only doing sculptures. I decided to start doing my sculptures for my newest body of work. I go out into the world. You'll see it in this YouTube channel. I go on adventures. I explore where I live, and I document the adventures as part of not only this YouTube channel, but I consider those as part of my creative process and my art. So there's like a video version of it. I document creating the art, and I go out to experience these places, and then I make an artwork based on or inspired by that place, plus my imagination, as well as I try to explore the subject matter in 2 different mediums. So I try to sculpt it and then paint it with a paint or something like that. So I'm trying to really push myself and my boundaries as an artist and my present day challenge to myself and my current body of work. So I'm really excited about that. Even if I don't go and do an adventure video, if I like say do an octopusy sculpture, I want to explore it both in paint, but then also look at it and create it in clay, because it's going to be a totally different vibe, totally different artwork, right? I can create anything on a canvas. Well, I can do that in clay as well, but I can create a background and a setting for my my subject matter in a painting a little bit more easily, because I don't have to build it and there's no gravity. There's no space, there's no weight. Whereas in clay, I can create it and I can get these beautiful, like I can actually physically make it, not just, you know, it's not implied form, it's actual form. I can physically create the form. However, I have to imply other things like gravity or a sense of it being underwater, or whatever, right? There's other things, like there's pluses and minuses to both, and so I think that it's really cool in informing each other, right? So I really encourage you to explore different mediums yourself, because I think you're going to, even if it's just something simple like, oh, you're typically doing watercolor paints, you're going to do it in acrylic paint as well, which are totally, even though they're paint, they're totally freaking different. They're totally different. They're totally different vibes. You're not gonna get the same flow. Or even if you do like watercolor paint and colored pencils or pencil crayons, as we call them here, depends on where you are. That's what I've learned is that there's colored pencils and pencil crayons, and they are the same thing. But people call them different, so there you go. Or even if you're trying to do it in wax crayon, that's an undervalued medium. That's what I'm saying. I don't say do that as a professional artist, but if you like sketchbook exploring, like wax crayons are kind of cool sometimes. You know, you can get some like resist effects. You can mix them. They do some pretty nice colors. You just want to fill in an area, just like want to explore your inner child. Get the jumbo sized, because let me tell you, they break a lot easier nowadays compared to the old ones. Like I have my original set from when I was a kid, and that set, you cannot break those crayons. They're probably not non-toxic also. It doesn't say non-toxic on them. I could be wrong, but I don't see it on the labels. Also the new ones, yeah, I just break them. So I get the jumbo, like extra jumbo, not even just like the normal big, but like the jumbo ones to draw with, because I do my art business also, which is for kids. You'll see my other channel is Mizartastic. If you want to have art projects or art lessons for kids, if you have kids, that's where to check it out. Mizartastic, and I will teach your kids how to draw and give you art resources there. So that's why I play with that. Anyways, totally distracted. Next one is to, oh yeah, I got a question for you. Here is your question. What is one thing that you've done to improve your own art? What is one thing that you have done to improve your own art? Drop that answer in the comments section right now. I want to know what's one thing that you have done to improve your art, so that way we can create a nice connection, a community, and really bounce some ideas off each other so that we can all grow together as artists on this beautiful community. I'm so happy you're here, my friend, and engaging with this and wanting to learn, because that is how we also improve as artists. If you're here right now watching this, that means that you are eager to improve and you're already taking the first step. So thumbs up to you. All right, next is to learn from others by studying the works of artists in your community that you admire, or even ones from history that you admire. I think that's a great work. You can just really deep dive in on those artists. I think a lot of the museums, if you're looking at historical artists or master artists, like for instance MoMA, and a few other galleries, they put up the big master artworks in full beautiful images online for free that you can view, and even some that are not even in past that timeline, you can view a lot of their images online and zoom in really close. Like you can pick up, for example, Van Gogh, and you can zoom in super good, like super zoom in, so you can see it and then look at the brush strokes and how he's applied it, and I'll see all the texture from the comfort of your computer or device. I think that's super cool. It's just to really go in, or go on Instagram and like follow your favorite artists and check out whatever YouTube channels they have, or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is, deep dive on your favorite artists and just get really inspired by their art. I think it's a really great way to improve your art, and just like really look at the technical aspects of their art too. Like what mediums are they using? Are they using mixed media? What is the composition like? What do they have? Like, do you think there's like glazing applied onto their oil painting or acrylics? Like, how are they developing their painting? What's their start to finish process look like? How often are they creating? And then start noticing those kinds of things, and then don't copy them. Make it your own. You're being inspired. You're being inspired by their process, not by like creating their art. There's a humongous difference here. And I think just to be inspired in general and to be fueled by their creativity to inform your creative practice is one thing, and copying and doing a similar style and subject matter is not okay. So very big difference. Next is to carry a sketchbook absolutely everywhere you go. I do this even on my adventures, and that way you can start As soon as you get an idea, you can just do a quick sketch, do a field sketch out somewhere. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It could be on the plane, subway, the plane, whatever. I always carry it on the plane. Oh my gosh, there's like people watching everywhere. There is some things happening at an airport and in a plane. And plus you got some time. So whatever it is, make sure you carry a sketchbook everywhere and just do field sketches. Take a charcoal pencil or graphite stick, whatever you want to take with you, and just create. You can even get pocket watercolor sets that are specifically designed for traveling, and those are super, super great for making watercolor sketches on the go. But take it with you and you will not regret it, I promise. Okay, finally is to break outside of your comfort zone and do something completely different, okay? So pick a different subject matter, pick a different art medium that you're not comfortable using, do something that's completely outside of your comfort zone and just do it, okay? So make a list of things you like to create and things you don't like to create, and I challenge you to create something that you do not like to either work with as a medium or create, because I guarantee you by exploring that, it's going to help inform. You're going to learn a lot, right? You're going to take that risk, you're going to experiment, you're going to try something new and different, and even though it doesn't work out, you will learn from that and it will inform your art practice. I promise you, you will improve from that experience. There's absolutely no way you won't. At some point, you'll be like, oh wow, that really sparked something in my imagination, and you will learn from that experience. Alright, my friend, that is it for this episode. Make sure you like and respond to the comments in the comment section of this video, right? What is one thing that you've done to improve your own art practice, or are you gonna try one of the things I suggested in this video so we can create a community and share together? Your next video to watch is how to increase and boost your creativity as an artist. You can click the card above or the link in the description below, and I will see you in that episode. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel, because next milestone for me is when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna make a painting of a man-eating cupcake. 1,000 subscribers, man-eating cupcake painting is coming at you. You get a cupcake for subs. Woo! Subscribe for a cupcake. Next milestone, if you help me get to 1,000 subscribers, share my channel, get people on it, and watching, and I will make you a man-eating cupcake painting. I'm gonna do an actual artwork, like a full-on artwork, a full-on actual painting of a man-eating cupcake in acrylic paint. Then at 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to make an oil painting of a cupcake out of this world. And at 100,000 subscribers, I have huge goals and I will get there. I will, in return, create an entire ceramic sculpture of a cupcake. I don't know what the theme is. You guys can help me think of that one when we get there. That's a long road for me at this point, but I will do a ceramic sculpture of a cupcake, because cupcake for subscribers. Cupcakes for subscribers, or cupcakes for subscriptions. So I will do that for you, so help me get there. Subscribe now, and I will see you in the next episode, how to increase and boost your creativity. Let's get started.